Hey comic collectors, I'm Christopher, aka the Bronze Age Nerd, and welcome to another list of comic books that I'm not buying this week. The way this works is I look at all the hot lists out there, Key Collector Trending 20, CBSI Hot 10, Cover Price, Top 10, and what I do is I find 5 comic books from those lists that I'm not going to spend my money on this week. Now, interestingly enough, we might actually have a new player entering that arena soon with Overstreet Access coming on the scene. They're going to be a new app that's going to be hitting the scene with pricing data and speculation type content. If you're interested in seeing what that's all about, you can go check out my video up here and see what's going on. All right, kicking it off at number 5 for this week, I'm going to be looking at World War Hulk #1, coming hot on the scene here. We've seen so many of these World War Hulk books pop up time and time again, and I have a feeling that even if we receive some kind of announcement that we're going to be getting World War Hulk, we'll still see this book have opportunities to be purchased. Plus, I'm going to tell you something. MCU spec to me isn't as strong as it used to be for stuff like this. If we know the storyline's coming, yeah, it'll definitely spike for a little bit and we'll see some increased sales activity, of course, but what's there to spec on with this? It's just going to pop up on screen. We know what's going to happen and there you go. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't really think there's much to this book, and I'm certainly not going to be investing money into it this week when other collectors are trying to pick it up. So I'm definitely not going to be wasting my money on this book this week. If I really wanted it, I'd wait 3 months for when it cools down a little bit. I'd pick it up, maybe 2 months from now even, pick it up then if I'm still interested in it. Spoiler alert, I'm not. So let's find out if this thing actually becomes worth something in a few months when I review it for my 3-month later series. At number 4 on the list, I guess we're picking on the Hulk because this is Incredible Hulk 347, which is the first appearance of the Joe Fixit persona for Hulk. Cool book, but yeah, we're getting this news because there's a Joe Fixit series coming. Cool. Speculation makes Bronze angry. So yeah, I'd be amazed if there's anything behind this. It just doesn't seem likely to me. It is a cool book, but again, wait a couple months, pick it up. Wait 7 or 8 months, pick it up, and no one will even care about it anymore is my guess anyway. All right, Beavis and Butthead. This is kind of a fun one to do. Beavis and Butthead #1 showed up on the Key Collector Trending 20. Okay, I get it. There was just a movie that came out, though, and I don't remember anybody caring about that. Now that we have news that we're getting a Paramount Plus series, we're suddenly going to care? I don't know. I mean, look, it's a cool book. If you're a fan of Beavis and Butthead, you're definitely going to want this book, but probably you already have it by now. If you don't, same thing as the last two. Wait a few months, pick it up when it's a little bit cheaper, and you're golden. Now, where you get into kind of a weird gray area here is, let's say you're somebody who wants to collect a 9/8. If you want to get a 9/8, I would really maybe consider picking up a raw book for this one right now. This is, I'm only speaking to the real fans here. I'm not speaking to people that really want to speculate on this book. This is what, maybe if you already have a 9/8 contender, now's the time to send it into CGC if that's something you really want to do because you want to flip it. But I don't know, man. It's Beavis and Butthead. This is about as dumb as Cornholio. Let's move on to the next one. All right, this popped up on the list, and I'll be honest, I didn't even know this existed. It's the Thor Lovin Thunder Classic Covers Collection. As we've covered several times on these videos, promotional comics that are giveaways for a movie release don't do well. On top of that, they definitely don't do well for a movie that most of the core fan base seems to have not liked. By the way, I haven't seen Thor Love and Thunder yet. I'm hoping I enjoy it, but I know a lot of you are pretty vocal about not enjoying it, so why would this particular book, which is so closely associated with Love and Thunder, do well? That makes no sense. All right, last book, and I actually think this series has some potential to it, so I don't want to shit all over this series. It's Grimm. This is the Grimm 3 Frizen variant. Frizen, how do you say it? Let me know in the comments down below. More importantly, how does she say it? So this was an FOC unlockable variant. I just have a feeling we're looking at this book 3 months to 6 months down the road. Grimm 1 is probably going to have a lot more attention than Grimm 3. Now, if this series does become the next Something is Killing Children, I really don't think that's possible. But if it's similar in some ways to that trajectory, you could see some of these early variants and harder to get covers become a big deal. So if you have a strong belief in Grimm, my advice would be to kind of hold on to that notion, wait till you see this cover dip and kind of pay attention to those sales and be patient on it. and then swoop it up then. Do you see a familiar trend to my advice with all these books? Look, I'm just being honest. It's not that hard, especially when the spec game is so weak right now, to look at these books and go, what are we talking about here? You'll notice something. All the books that are on the list this week are from Key Collector Trending 20. Part of the reason is because when I'm recording this, we don't have access to the new CBSI Hot 10. So that's honestly part of the reason. The other part of the reason is cover price went nuts on 8 Billion Genies, and I actually think 8 Billion Genies has more of a chance than Grimm long run. We'll see. So since we do know that it is getting an Amazon series, it's not only optioned, it's actually going to production, I believe. So since we know that, I have more faith in 8 Billion Genies than Grimm. Although Grimm seems like a fantastic series, I think there's a really good chance that this also could be made into a property someday. But a lot of the books that showed up on Key Collector this week are moderns, or they're Silver Age books, and I don't often like to bet against Silver Age books. Now, the same advice could apply. I could say, don't buy Silver Age books this week, and yeah, you shouldn't do that. Not these Silver Age books anyway, but still, there's more of a chance that those books are going to hold on to their value, or if we see a market recovery, they're going to go back up. I don't see that happening the next 3 to 6 months, most likely. But that's something to be aware of. I'm always going to be more comfortable somebody buying a Silver Age book than I am to be somebody buying a modern book, especially for the prices. Once the prices on moderns start to creep up, there's just way too many moderns that never hold value, or they end up sinking later on. And it's just more risk, less reward. But it is interesting this week. We also didn't see any high ratios or not too many variants. I mean, the Grimm cover is technically a variant, but other than that, it's kind of interesting. We didn't see too much of that this week. That's kind of a refreshing change. Okay, let me know what you're not buying down below in the comments, or if you want to take a more fun spin on it, let me know what you are buying down below in the comments. On your way down there, don't forget to check out the description so you can see some ways you can save some money on comic books, comic book supplies, comic book cleaning, pressing, and grading services. Check all that out down below. If you want to support the channel, one way you could do that is you can go follow me on Instagram or Twitter, or you can become a channel member. If you do that, you get a chance to win free comic books every month. Plus, you also get access to special emoji in chat, which is pretty fun. I want to thank you for watching another video, and I want to remind you, as always, hey, 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 hey. Read comics every day. This makes Bronze angry. Speculation makes Bronze angry.